Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and I've got this article pulled up. It's from the end of the American Dream.com. This article came out on the 15th of April, and it says, if negotiations with Iran fail, the course of human history could quickly take a turn in an apocalyptic direction. And you see this beautiful picture here of a mushroom cloud. And this is what we as the hopeful elect look forward to happening. Because I saw it and I thought it was absolutely beautiful, stunning. Look forward to this because this brings about the new heavens and the new earth that we're looking for. So this is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 13. It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Because we want to see this current world and how it's ran and made and maintained. We want to see the end of this. And we know prophetically it's going to go out through nuclear weapons. Even just jumping up to verse 12 shows you. It says, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens shall be on fire. Wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. And this brings the new heavens and the new earth, this mushroom cloud. And there's going to be many of them throughout the horizon. It's going to be, Lord will, I'm of that number, but looking down onto the lake of fire and seeing multiple mushroom clouds on the horizon would be possibly the best sight of all time. Just after seeing Yahweh Shai return, actually. But this is what we're looking for. And refreshing, that word new goes into kainos, which is a refreshing. Because we're not going to get a whole entire new earth. We're going to get a refreshed one. And these nukes are going to be cleaning up the earth from the current polluted state that it's in. But getting back to the article, it says, if negotiations with Iran fail, the course of human history could quickly take a turn in an apocalyptic direction. And so also, let's get that word for apocalypse, which is right here, Revelation 1 and 1, the revelation of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, which the Most High gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass, and he signified it by his angel unto his servant John. So this was given to John the Revelator, this revelation. And so we have the word revelation, Strong's G 602, apocalypsis. And it says laying bare, making naked, a disclosure of truth, instruction concerning things before unknown, used of events by which things or states or persons hitherto withdrawn from view are made visible to all. Manifestation, appearance. And the word is really, because we went to the word revelation, and the meaning is within that word, to reveal. And so Strong's definitions down here: disclosure, appearing, coming, enlighten, manifestation, be revealed. So it's right there in the word, revelation. And so things being revealed. But this world uses it wrongly. They always just say the apocalypse is big war, or just the fall of this place. But it's really a revealing and the truth is being revealed. The truth of Yahweh Shai, truth of the scriptures, the truth of the history of the earth. These things are being revealed. And in a way, we're already in Revelation, considering the elders and apostles have stood on their feet and they are revealing the mysteries of the scriptures. It goes into that in Revelation 11 with the testimony to his two witnesses. And that goes into Ezekiel 37 with the valley of the dry bones and the Israelites awakening. And then ultimately, once Yahweh Shah returns, showing without any doubt that he is a dark-skinned man of the tribe of Judah and that he's only come to save his elect of the nation of Israel. These are all things that will be revealed. Getting back to the scriptures, though, it says President Trump says that we have a problem with Iran. I'm sure the small hatters are in his ear pushing him to say this. And it says, and he insists that he's going to be the one to solve the problem. If the Iranians are willing to compromise, there is a chance that we could see a negotiated deal. If the Iranians are not willing to compromise, there will be military action against Iran. The Iranians are prepared to hit back with everything that they have got if their nuclear facilities are attacked. Once that happens, there will be no turning back. So there is a lot riding on the negotiations with Iran. That began last week, and that will continue this upcoming weekend. If the negotiations go badly, the course of human history could take an apocalyptic turn very rapidly. And it's going to happen no matter what. No matter how these negotiations go. There will be an all-out war with Iran and with Russia and with all of Russia's allies. There's going to be nuclear war, and America goes down, as well as the other nations, but mostly, first and foremost, America. And then the land of Israel goes down because it needs to be cleaned with nuclear fire. And the other nations will be hit in different areas. It says, but Trump has already clearly stated that he is not going to allow that to happen. In fact, on Sunday, he told the press that a final decision on Iran will be made very quickly. Trump, who has threatened military action if no deal is reached on halting Iran's nuclear program, told reporters aboard Air Force One that he met with advisors on Iran and expected a quick decision. He gave no further details. We'll be making a decision on Iran very quickly, he said. Subsequently, on Monday, Trump gave us even more insight into what he is thinking. In the Oval Office, he told reporters that he will solve the problem with Iran one way or another. We've got a problem with Iran. I'll solve that problem. It's almost an easy one, Trump declared, speaking to reporters in the Oval Office during a meeting with Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador. Iran has got to get rid of the concept of a nuclear weapon. They cannot have a nuclear weapon, Trump said. I want them to be a rich, great nation. The only thing is, one thing, simple. It's really simple. They can't have a nuclear weapon. And they've got to go fast because they're fairly close to having one. And they're not going to have one. And if we have to do something very harsh, we'll do it, he added. And I'm not doing it for us. I'm doing it for the world. These are radicalized people, and they cannot have a nuclear weapon. And you just look at the Edomites in their history, and they dare to call somebody radicalized. They're the only ones that have used a nuclear or an atomic bomb on anyone else. They're the ones who should not have one. But that's besides the point, because what's coming is going to take all of that power away from them. This is when a reporter asked Trump to clarify what something very harsh means. Trump once again threatened to conduct a military strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. Since he was asked regarding his reference to something harsh. Does that include a potential strike on Iranian nuclear facilities? And he answered, of course it does. This is it. This is the fork in the road that many of us have been anticipating for a long time. And so let us hope that the negotiations that will happen this weekend go well. On Tuesday, Trump and his team gathered in the White House Situation Room to discuss negotiating strategy. President Trump held a meeting on Tuesday morning in the White House Situation Room about the ongoing nuclear deal negotiations with Iran. Two sources with direct knowledge told Axios. Some members of Trump's team apparently want to compromise with the Iranians, while others are supporting a maximalist approach to the negotiations. So those are the war hawks. It says the meeting took place amid intense debate within the administration over the way forward in the negotiations and the compromises the U.S. should or shouldn't make. Vance and Witkoff think diplomacy could lead to a nuclear deal and think the U.S. should be ready to get some compromises in order to get it. Other senior members of the administration, including Rubio and Waltz, are highly skeptical and support a maximalist approach to the negotiations. It appears that those supporting a maximalist approach to the negotiations may have won the debate because Trump's top negotiator is now publicly telling us that Iran must stop and eliminate all nuclear enrichment. United States Special Envoy Steve Witkoff has said that Tehran must stop and eliminate its nuclear enrichment program to reach a deal with Washington, seemingly raising the bar of U.S. demands ahead of another round of talks with Iranian officials. Witkoff's remarks on Tuesday appeared to contradict his suggestion a day earlier that the U.S. would be satisfied with Iran enriching uranium at a low level to produce energy. Slovakia. Any final arrangement must set a framework for peace, stability, and prosperity in the Middle East, meaning that Iran must stop and eliminate its nuclear enrichment and weaponization program, Witkoff said in a statement on Tuesday. But reading all this, we're not going to keep going further, but they're trying to get a deal. A deal's not going to happen because this is prophecy. The kings of the East are going to come out and wage war. Let's get that. And the Lord is drying up the Euphrates for all of this to happen. This is Revelation 16 and 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So we're getting ready for war. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. And the Euphrates is drying up. The Israelites are awakened. We could see the Edomites, the so-called white man, including the small hatters, that they are losing their power, their economic grip on this world, and really all standing that they had. People don't trust them anymore, and it's time for war because they're losing power to where they're about to rage out, and these small hatters are constantly trying to take more and more land within the Middle East, or Western Asia as it's rightfully called, in which we also know that the prophecies say that the least of the flock shall draw them out. Which, let's get that in Jeremiah. It says it both in 49 and 50. Jeremiah 49 and 20, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom. Edom's these small hatters and so-called white men. They're the same people, just different tribes, which with the small hatters being from Amalek. It says, in his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock are these, the state of Israel, Amalek, the small hatters, shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. And the Americans here in Babylon are being drawn out via the state of Israel. And there's going to be a great war. But this is the war to end all wars that is coming. This is 2nd Esdras 15 because it speaks of the Elamites, who are the Iranians, and the Ishmaelites, which are the rest of those Middle Easterners or Western Asianers, the Arabs, going toe to toe with Babylon the Great. 2nd Esdras 15 and 28. Behold, a horrible vision and the appearance thereof from the east. We just went into how the Euphrates is being dried up to make way for the kings of the east. This is where that battle of Jehoshaphat is going to take place, the battle of Armageddon. And this is a horrible vision. All these nations have nuclear capabilities now. Give me 1 second. Slovakia. Going back, 2nd Esdras 15 and 28. Behold, a horrible vision and the appearance thereof from the east. This war is going to be the greatest war of all time. This is where the nations of the dragons of Arabia, so the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth. So all of their military arsenal, all their tanks and their Humvees and their jets, everything they have, they're going to be using. These were just described as chariots, but put it into modern terminology. And the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. And it says men's hearts shall be failing themselves for looking on those things that are coming on the earth. It says also the Carmanians, and these are the Iranians that they're trying to negotiate a deal with. These are the Iranians are the Carmanians, raging in wrath because they probably just got cheated on a deal, because that's what these Edomites are known for doing, not holding and keeping to their promises and their treaties and their deals. Should speak to that. Raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. And boars are dangerous. It says, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. The Assyrians go into the Americans. See, Assyro-Babylonian Empire. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand. So the Arabians are going to have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And that angel told Hagar that Ishmael shall be a wild man. So they're going to get all wild out here. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. And the Arab world is joining quicker and quicker, especially with what's going on in Palestine. And conspiring just goes into breathing together, two or more. Breathing together. And all these Arab nations, as well as the Iranians, are going to be on the same team, all headed by Russia. Then these shall be troubled, bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them. And so there might be sleeper cells here. There are a lot of Western Asian or Arabic immigrants here. Some of them could be sleeper cells. And consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. So the leadership is going to be in fear. It says, behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. It's going to be a great, great war going on over there. They shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star. Blood shall be from the sword unto the belly. It talks about the bloodshed being up to the horse's bridle, and dung of men unto the camel's hoof. It's going to be a great slaughter. And this is all prophecy because the Lord has a great feast for the birds with all the bodies of these kings and princes and mighty men. And there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon earth, and they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. And then shall there come great storms from the south and from the north, and another part from the west, and the strong wind shall arise from the east, and shall open it in the cloud which you raised up in wrath, and the star stirred to cause fear toward the east and west wind shall be destroyed. The great and mighty clouds shall be puffed up full of wrath, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out every high and eminent place a horrible star. It's going to be lots of destruction in this war that's coming. Fire and hail and flying swords, those are the ICBMs, because those are eventually going to be shot from one end of the earth to the other. They're going to be going out. We have a nuclear war coming up in many waters, that all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters. And they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of the wood and grass of the meadows, and their corn. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon, and make her afraid, because that is Babylon's destiny. That's its manifest destiny, to be destroyed in nuclear fire. Got to go here to Joel 2. Actually, let's go back real quick. And it says, and they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of the wood and grass of the meadows, and their corn. Got to go to Joel 2 because it makes me think of it. Joel 2 and 7. They shall run like mighty men. These are speaking of the ICBM missiles. They shall climb the wall like men of war. They shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. They're going to be in complete and total order. The Lord is going to be with them. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. None of the anti-missile defense is going to work on these. They're going to get straight through. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. Just like it spoke of here. This is going to be a great and terrible war. But with that comes a new heaven and a new earth. Comes order through Yahweh Shai. And we'll have the kingdom of heaven and the kingdom of Israel. But we've got to get through Jacob's trouble, this economic collapse that's coming through these wars. And there's going to be many, many wars. There's going to be civil wars, race wars, riots, and ultimately World War III, the third woe. And then Yahweh Shai is going to come back and make war with the heathen and put them down without any effort whatsoever. And so, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.